Welcome to Royal Pride. I'm Tim Rutherford here with Eastern Hancock Athletic Director Aaron Spalding. Welcome, Aaron.
It's great to be here.
Another month of sports in the book, and it's been a busy one.
Yep.
You've dodged a little weather here and there and had some cancellations and reschedule, but overall it's been a pretty busy month since we spoke last.
Absolutely. It's like I said, the last week or so, the weather's thrown some wrenches, or potential weather, but overall not too bad.
Excellent. Well, we're also got a couple sports that are winding up their season, getting ready to head into the sectional. And we're going to start with the wrestling team. They've had some success this year. Just won the Blackford Invitational here recently.
Yeah, they won the Blackford Invitational, which is for the second year in a row. They won that. And the team, as you mentioned, winded down. Eastern Hancock was supposed to be the host school for the conference meet this past Saturday, but potential weather kind of derailed that. So they'll actually move into conference meet tonight, but that'll be at Shenandoah because we had a girls basketball game already scheduled. So that'll be at Shenandoah tonight. Want to talk about some of the boys that have been leading the way there. And I believe they're all going as number one seeds in the conference tonight. Alexander Burton at 220 has just lost one match. He's 22-1 this year, and he's our lone senior. Garrett Friesen is a junior. He's 19-4 at 170, and Tyler Vandervliet 17-6 at 182. So those three guys are kind of leading the way heading into the conference tonight. Hopefully give a good showing there, and then they happen to be heading to the sectional on Saturday. That'll be at Warren Central. They had a seating meeting last night, so I haven't got the results of that yet. Kind of as a sidelight there, I got quite an education. I wouldn't say I ran the seating meeting for the conference. I participated in the seating meeting, and that's some crazy stuff. My thoughts going into that is you would want to have a bye, but in wrestling you don't want to have a bye because you get more points as a team if you win. So I learned a lot of things, but those seating meetings are quite interesting. So, but nonetheless, the seating meeting happened last night at Warren Central. So be looking forward to see where our guys end up. Wrestling is one of those sports where you can advance as an individual. So hopefully we'll have several regional qualifiers and hopefully move on from there.
Well, and Alexander Burton at 22-1, they've also participated in several invitationals where there have been 4A opponents, larger schools, because when they go to sectional, it's one class.
Yep, we have participated in the Avon Invitational this year, and some places such as that. So we've had our fair share of competition.
So one loss is pretty impressive because I'm sure he's wrestled a bunch of 4A wrestlers as well. So look forward to seeing what his seeding is for the weekend. Middle school wrestling is also underway now. Yeah,
middle school wrestling. We have a couple former wrestlers, as our high school is led by a former EH wrestler, Keith Oliver. Our middle school, BJ Davidson and Nathan Jackson are coaching that team, and they start their season wrestling way middle school. They kind of start right when high school is finishing up for the middle schoolers. But they start Thursday, be in our middle school gym. They'll host the Rushville Lions to open up their season. So we got really good numbers. I think last time I talked to them, they were close to 30, that's fantastic. Filling all those weight classes, hopefully, and bodes well. The last few years, and we're starting to see some fruit to that. They really boosted their youth program and done a nice job there. So looking forward to some good things in the future.
Well, and I remember talking to Nathan before the season started. He actually did the youth program before the basketball season, so boys would have the opportunity to do both.
Absolutely.
So excellent. Well, we look forward to hearing how their season goes, and also how well we do here in the tournament with the high school boys. Well, we're going to move to the pool now. I think we've had some success. I'm looking, I see once again we have records broken possibly, which is, I think, keeps our streak going. Every show we've done, whether when swimming was in season, I think there's been a record broken.
Right. The most recently, and swimming is, once again, as wrestling, it's considered an individual sport, so they compete against all classes. They just recently went to Warren Central this past Friday. They were actually scheduled Saturday too, but Warren went ahead and moved theirs up in anticipation of the weather. They participated Friday night in that. The teams had a good showing. The boys finished 4th out of 13 teams. Girls 8th out of 13. So they did a nice job at that. They are, I believe, the girls sectional, if my memory is correct, is a week, not this Thursday, but next Thursday. And then the way that works is you have the preliminaries are on Thursday night, and then your finals on Saturday. So it's kind of a tournament into a tournament, because wrestling's one of those where you go from sectional to the state. So there's nothing in between. So that'll be, I believe, not this week, but next. And then I believe the boys are a couple weeks later.
Yeah, basically the prelims are kind of the sectional, and then
kind of the regional, I guess, for
wrestling.
Yeah,
for
so
swimming.
It's something, if they advance to that Saturday, they're always excited if they do that. So, and as you mentioned, we have had a couple records broken. Martina Romano broke her own record in the 200 individual medley with a time of 2 minutes, 28.88 seconds, and took 5 seconds off her own record. She also broke the 100 breaststroke record of 1 minute, 17.84 seconds. Martina is a foreign exchange student, so it's always nice to see foreign exchange students coming over and getting involved in our athletics. I believe she's Italian, if my memory serves me correct, but she's done a great job and obviously has adapted very well to the pool. I'm not sure what her experience, surely she had done some swimming overseas before, but she's done a great job.
Excellent. And also with that, you mentioned their tournament, their sectional is coming up, and the boys are behind them and where the sectional is.
Yeah, they're a couple weeks after, similar to basketball, is a few weeks after where that is.
Their middle school program is also underway with their first meet coming up.
Yep, their first meet will be, they'll be at Pendleton Heights here, well, actually today's Tuesday, so a week from today, they'll open up their season. They're like wrestling, as the middle school kind of starts after because of facility type constraints. They start afterwards, so they'll be up and running here and starting their meets next week.
Their numbers are good too, I'm assuming.
They're doing great. We've started like the Coach McCormick has started them very young, where they've got these. They start out with very young age, kindergarten, first grade, doing swim lessons, and then they move them up to club. So kids that I've always said, like when I was a high schooler, that swimmers are crazy. I mean, they're in the pool, but before school, after school, they work pretty hard. So he's done a great job with them, and sure that program is doing great.
Yeah, and he also does, I know, swim club and things like that in the off season with all ages, I believe, especially the younger ones, though. Well, we're getting ready to move to the basketball court, but we're going to take a quick break here as our first segment here wraps up. Just want to preview our girls sectional basketball starts next week.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that. We'll share the draw that we have and the challenges ahead, as well as some of the successes they've had in the recent weeks. So we'll be right back here on Royal Pride.
A working mom who brings her best to both roles. A community-owned telecom that connects her home with high-bandwidth fiber optic. Mom can work from home with fast, reliable connectivity and be there when the kids come home. When everyone logs on, the internet connections stay fast and the family stays connected. Ninestar Connect. Community-owned. Community strong.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and we're going to head to the hardwood now. I mentioned the girls are wrapping up their season. This is the last week of the regular season. Next week is the sectional. And they did have a game last night, so they're 10-10 on the season. Had a tough opponent last night with Pendleton Heights. As we're wrapping up this, I know they had some weather and things like that. They've got 3 games this week, counting the one last night.
Yep. last night they played Pendleton Heights. They're 10-10 this year, but really played a really tough schedule. This year they played, as you mentioned, Pendleton Heights. They played Greenwood, which they actually beat, and then they played Perry Meridian, who's traditionally a very good program. So they've had a real tough schedule, hung tough. They're 10-10, battled some injuries here and there. They're 5-3 in the conference, which places them 4th out of 10. So they've had a good year. Like I said, battled through some things. As you mentioned, 3 games this week. Tonight they'll have their final conference game as they'll host Randolph Southern tonight. Then Thursday they host Tri-High, which will be senior night, and we'll honor some girls that have had great careers. Jenna Smith has been an outstanding for us for a number of years, as has Haley Best, who's set some records shooting the ball and been really good players for us. Both of them participated on our team that won the sectional a couple years ago and advanced to the final game of the regional. So had great careers. Also want to point out Maddie Kludinger has been a manager, and she's going to be honored as well. So that'll be a good thing Thursday night. Had the draw for the sectional. Talk about a little tradition that both the boys and girls have. They have generally draw parties where the girls get together to watch who they drew. I believe we have a pic right there of the kids they were actually at Dean Fout's house that they did the draw and got to see who they play at Shenandoah next week, and then they will Tuesday night at 7:30 they will play Irvington Prep, and then they'll head, provided they win that game, they'll go to Triton Central. They'll play at Shenandoah, but they play Triton Central, who I believe is 19-1 currently, outstanding team. So we'll see where we're at that way.
And I believe that would be the second game Friday as well, because it was on the bottom of the bracket.
I believe so. I believe that's correct.
So if you're interested in checking out their tourney play, do they have pre-sale of tickets at the office?
I don't think, no. I'm going to the meeting today. I do not believe the last couple of years we've not done pre-sale tickets, but generally you can buy a pass for the whole sectional for $10, or a single night, each one $6. So if you're betting on the Royals, you probably want to get a senior pass or a season pass.
Yeah, that could cost you double what it would almost. So they have some leaders here, the scoring, rebounding, and assists. I see you have listed here. Mm-hmm. Different person leading every category.
Yeah, they've got some good balance to the team. Jocelyn Duncan is a junior. She's leading the team in scoring, a little over 13 a game. Jenna Smith, as we mentioned earlier, she leads us in rebounding, just a tad under 9. Then Haley Best is leading us in assist, about 2.5 a game. So got some good leaders there, and then we've got several other girls who have contributed and done a great job for the team this year. So well, 2 of the 3 statistical leaders are seniors, but I know the core of the team after those 2 is we've got juniors Jocelyn Duncan, Allison Spalding. Then we got a couple sophomores, Bella Whitty and Chloe O'Neill. Also a junior, Skyla Smith is in there, done a great job. Then we've got a couple freshmen who expect Caroline Stapleton is a freshman, has played some good minutes. And then Lily Hunt had an injury from volleyball, so she's just now kind of getting acclimated to things. So those some kids that look forward to seeing in the future. Excellent. The JV team's season will come to a close at the end of this week. They're currently sitting at 6-13, but have had some ups and downs this year. Yeah, they've another team that's battled some injuries. Dean Fout has coached them, and what I've seen from them is consistent improvement and compete every night. So girls have done a nice job. Excellent. Well, their middle school programs are all underway now, as the girls usually, they start right after Christmas. Practice will start in December, and then they'll start playing right after Christmas. So
We have the records from 5th through 8th grade, and I think 5th and 6th grade played last night,
Yep,
so you can even
yep,
update those even more.
Yeah, right now, our 5th grade right now sitting at 3-0 with a victory last night at LaPel. 6th grade 2-2. Once again, a victory last night at LaPel. 7th grade is currently 6-1. Their lone loss was to Selma in the conference tournament. Selma is the middle school that leads into Wapahani. But they're sitting at 6-1, and the 8th grade is 4-3. So, all of them are 500 or better. So, a lot of good things on tap for the Royals.
Excellent. We're going to switch gears and head over to the boys' side right now. The varsity currently sits at 7-5. They're 3-2 in the conference. Have had a couple of wins in a row here, and at times look like a very formidable team. And at times look young, like there's not a lot of varsity experience, but I think those times are going farther away and shorter in time on the court.
Yeah, as you mentioned, teams played at spots we've looked very good, and as you mentioned, we've not looked very good, and that's unfortunately or fortunately that is the common for lack of experience. Is you got to become more consistent, but as you mentioned, I think hopefully we can move closer and closer to that as the year comes on. A couple wins. We had a big win as far as point differential against Waldron. I think one over 40 at Waldron the previous Friday. Then last Friday had the exact opposite. Had an overtime buzzer beater. Skylar Schroep hit a shot with under a second to play to beat Monroe Central. Good conference win for us. Put us 3-2 in the conference, so happy to see that. And we're right now playing pretty consistently 3 freshmen, so that bodes well for the future.
Excellent. We our sectional for the boys basketball won't be for another 3 weeks after the girls here, so. The draw is coming up here in a couple of weeks, so we'll find out who we play. But our statistical leaders right now, again, we have a couple of seniors leading the way, but as you mentioned, we have some young players that are a core of this team as well.
Yeah, Peyton Gray's leading his senior center for us. Has developed steadily over his career. Right now, he's our leading scorer, and what we have this year, he's leading us at 10.6, but it's a pretty balanced scoring attack where. We have several guys who contribute, and you can't really focus on one guy. I don't know how many guys different people have led us in scoring this year, but it has been a number. But Peyton's leading us with a little over 10.5 a game. Rebounding leader, Joey Starrett, a little under 8 a game. And then Skylar Schroep is leading us with assists at just under 4 a game. So those kids doing a great job. And got 2 really tough games coming up this week. We're at LaPel Friday night. LaPel's always got an outstanding team, and this year is no different. And then Union County Saturday night.
Excellent. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll wrap up with the JV and the middle school programs with the boys as well as our C team. We'll be right back here on Royal Pride.
A family farm with a family that does more than farm. A community-owned telecom that connected everything and everyone with high-bandwidth fiber optic. She can run her business while staying close to the people she loves most. And he can launch a promising new venture without leaving the farm. Ninestar Connect. Community-owned, community-strong.
Welcome back to Royal Pride, and we're going to wrap up with the boys basketball side of things. The JV currently is 8-3. They've played one fewer because Waldron didn't have a JV team. And then here coming up when we play Union Modoc, they're going to play a different team because Union Modoc doesn't have a JV team. So what are you seeing out of our JV group?
Doing a nice job. Coach Bechtel's doing a good job with them. As always, they're had some kids, in and out. We've battled some injuries, so we've played some kids quarter here, quarter there, and that's kind of the nature of JV. It's just kind of a mixed match of personnel, but they've done a nice job. I would say probably had their best game of the year this past Friday against Monroe Central, especially best half of the year. Second half, I thought they played very well. So seeing some good things out of them.
And then our C team is also 7-2,
Yep.
and
Coach
I think
Pax,
on a 6-game win
yep.
streak.
Coach Pax is doing an outstanding job with them. They're 7-2 right now. Had a big win over Greenfield last week. They're at Morristown tonight, and then they'll end their season actually this coming Saturday as we'll host a C team invitational at Eastern Hancock, where we'll take at the first game we'll take on Lincoln. Believe in the other gym, if my memory serves me correct, LaPel and Knightstown face off, and then obviously the winners will play. So love to see them finish their year with a championship, and because Coach Paxton did a good job with them.
Excellent. And then I see here all the way down through the program, the middle school level, some good things showing so far this year as well.
Sure. Our 8th grade right now is 16-3. They've got Hagerstown tomorrow night, then they got a game next week, and their county will be the following Saturday, as was 7th grade, who's 13-6. Then our 6th grade's 3-3, our 5th grade's 4-2. So just like the girls, everybody's 500 or better. So looking for some good things coming up.
Excellent. Well, as we wrap up the show today, this last segment, we're going to focus. We have several Hall of Fame inductees this year. Each year, people are allowed to nominate individuals or teams to go into our Hall of Fame. Some years we have one, some years we have 2 or 3. I don't know that I've ever seen this many go in the same year.
We have 7 going in this year, which is the biggest number after our first Hall of Fame, which was a number of years ago. So we have 7 people going in. I want to talk a little bit about each one of them as we go through that. Abby Freeman, married name is now Abby Bolden. She'll be going in. She was an outstanding basketball player for us. Also won a number of letters in volleyball, but made her bones kind of as a basketball player. And actually, she went on to IU South Bend, and she did a great job. She's in their top 10 at 3-pointers made in her career, both that and single season. She was all-conference, an all-conference player for them, so she had an outstanding career. Volleyball-wise, she also did a decent job for us, 3-time all-conference member, and was first-team all-county as a senior. So Abby will be going in. She was a 2004 graduate, so she's one that's going in. Daniela Dapranova, her married name is Dropna. She is, as her name maybe indicates, was a foreign exchange student from, I believe it was Slovakia. But the thing with Daniela, she's probably, not probably, as far as most dominant single sport athlete in the history of Eastern Hancock, I don't think there's a question. She finished 3rd in the state, and that's all classes, all that. And so she, 4th in the state in singles. She was a sectional champion, regional champion, won the conference, won the county. Just an outstanding, like I said, probably the single most dominant athlete in the history of Eastern Hancock, or at least arguably. So she'll be going in. Not sure if she's going to make it back. I mean, that's quite a trip.
I was going to ask, is she coming back for the ceremony?
So nonetheless, she'll be going in. Brenda Walski is actually a 1978 graduate. So Brenda has also, the past few years, coached in our girls program a little bit. She was also an outstanding high school basketball coach at a few places. She participated in basketball, volleyball, and track. She was a 3-time all-conference member, was all-sectional in 1978. She also was, she played collegiately at both Indiana State and St. Joe's. And she was also co-captain of that team, St. Joe's. So this is actually will be her second Hall of Fame she's going in. She's already in the Knox High School Hall of Fame as a coach. So congratulations to Brenda. Brianna Lawyer, outstanding runner for us, cross country and track. She's a distance runner. She qualified for the state meet twice in the 1600. Made it in the indoor state qualifier in the 1600. She had multiple other type accolades. In cross country, she went to the semi-state 3 times, 4 times as a regional qualifier. We could go on and on about her. But congratulations to Brianna on her induction. Dustin Smith graduated in 2011. Dustin, for a number of years, was our all-time leading scorer in basketball, in our boys basketball team history. Was played on our last sectional championship team in 2008. He just probably the best pure shooter that we've had in our program. Just an outstanding 4-time all-county player. As a senior, he was Player of the Year in the county. Was Hoosier Basketball Magazine top 60 seniors as a senior. Like I said, we could go on and on about his accolades, but congratulations to Dustin. Matt Simmons, outstanding football player for us, also participated in track. He just was an outstanding running back for us, and not to mention he was also, as a senior, voted All-State as a defensive back. So an outstanding player. He's number 2 in career rushing yards behind Spencer Gilbert. So for a number of years, he was the all-time rushing leader. So just an outstanding athlete, and congratulations to Matt. Mike Hockett is the last one we'll talk about here. Mike was a 1981 graduate, participated in track and basketball. His top sport was track, and he was a 1981 state qualifier in the 110 hurdles. So just a great athlete. He also had a number of other achievements, conference championships, and some other events. He actually earned a scholarship at Butler, walked on, but then earned a scholarship in track. And he's actually the Butler school record holder in the 55-meter indoor hurdles, and also the record in the 110 hurdles. So obviously an outstanding athlete here at Eastern Hancock. So congratulations to all those athletes going on. That will be this Saturday night in our boys varsity game against Union County. At halftime of that game is when those guys will be, our guys and gals will be going in.
Excellent. Congratulations to all of them. As we wrap up the show, as we're quickly approaching the end of it here, just an announcement, and I think maybe in one of our future shows, maybe we'll spend a segment focused on this individual who announced his retirement. He is Mr. Eastern Hancock. If you are ever at an Eastern Hancock event, usually he is there, home or away. One of the most respected men in our community, and our principal, Dave Poff. The middle school and high school, and we're certainly going to miss him. Yeah,
he announced earlier this month that this will be his last year. This is his 40th year as a educator at Eastern Hancock. Started out as a social studies teacher. He's now been the principal, I believe, for 21 years, if my memory serves me correct. So, he's also has been the head football coach for a few years, was assistant coach on the state championship team, and also was a girls basketball coach for a number of years.
Excellent. Well, like I said, maybe we'll take a whole segment and dedicate to what he's done and meant for the Eastern Hancock community. Well, that's it for our show today. We'll be back next month here on Royal Pride to talk more about Eastern Hancock athletics.